Hello everyone, I am Nick. Welcome to Hogwarts. Let's continue our Hogwarts mystery. We are about to continue with this time-limited side quest, a teacher celebration, appreciation, or something. But first, let's wake Tychus. Hello, Tychus. So, interviews and wizard chess. We are about to play chess with Professor McGonagall in the Transfiguration classroom. Go! Transfiguration classroom. Play chess with McGonagall. Let's continue our game. So, Professor, you wanted to play some more of our game before we did our interview? And now it's progressed, so how am I doing? I must say I'm surprised by your most recent move. Why? That was to be my question. You moved your rook. Then clearly you just sacrificed your pawn. Did you not? Perhaps I did, but I've learned sometimes it takes sacrifice to get what you want. And what exactly do you want in this moment? To nurture our relationship. To win Wizard Chess. To get on with our interview. Yeah, to nurture our relationship, Professor McGonagall. What I want is to nurture our relationship over this game of Wizard Chess. A kind goal and a worthy one. I applaud you for coming right out and saying it. I'm so pleased. Though I'm still perplexed. Is your strategy to lose to learn more about me? Because that would be quite disappointing. I thought it might help you share a bit more if you're winning. But should have remembered Madam Hooch saying you quite enjoy honest competition as well. I see, you've been talking about me with my peers. And possibly even using information you've learned from them to guide you in our game. It's true, but I can explain. I think that would be best. Let me explain, Professor. Play chess. Start. I mean, like 3-hour chess is a long game of chess. You certainly have been busy. Oh yes, I'm always busy. It's been a pleasure to get extra time with other teachers as well as yourself. I very much value all my relationships at Hogwarts. You were quite a student yourself when you were in school here. Use some of your cleverness to focus on the task at hand. You mean this wizard chess? Professor Sprout explained what good friends you are. My esteemed colleagues are all deserving of recognition. Madam Hooch talked about you as a young Quidditch player. You certainly have been busy. I've been talking to your peers as we search for the presentation. Professor Quirrell related his experience with you as a student. It's been a pleasure to get extra time with other teachers as well as yourself. You were quite a student yourself when you were in school here. Success! Collect! So you see, I only talk to your peers and friends as a way to get to know you. And I learned quite a bit. It's wise to get to know your opponent. I'm just trying so hard not to disappoint you, Professor. Then play honestly and wisely. I assure you I want to see you do your best always. But you spend a lot of time worrying about what's to come. Thinking about your brother, chasing curses, making foolish mistakes in the game we're playing here and now because you're worried about your next interview. I suppose you're right about that. Seems silly. I'm glad you agree. The best way to learn is to focus on the present rather than getting caught in the past or what's to come. By doing that today, you've put yourself in a corner in our game. Blimey, I hope I can get out of it. Fret not. There's always a path forward and I'm quite enjoying our talks. By the way, to earn my respect is to show me you respect the game. No more needless sacrifice. I understand, I understand. Thank you, Professor. Promise me you'll do your best. Consider your next move wisely, and we'll talk again soon. How about the interview? A special celebration of Hogwarts teachers, part 2 complete. A special celebration of Hogwarts teachers. Yeah, so that's the title. Collect. A special celebrations of Hogwarts teachers, part 3. Professor Snape and Headmaster Dumbledore help with your presentation as your wizard chess game with Professor McGonagall takes an unexpected turn. Start. Play chess with McGonagall. Done. Learn from Snape. I have some advice for you, but first I must deal with a thief. I'll send for you soon. What kind of thief? Who's the thief? The wizard chess game continues. Part 3. Learn from Snape in the potions classroom. Let's do this, Professor Snape. Learn from Snape. With Penny? I'm telling you, Penny, it's like Professor McGonagall knows something about everything. When we're playing chess, it's like she can read my every move. She's just so wise and magical. She's both those things, Nick. You knew that before you even started the teacher appreciation interview. And I'm still not sure what I'll say in my presentation. But it has to be good as she's the special honoree. Well, you're definitely making progress by interviewing the teachers and playing wizard chess with McGonagall. Didn't she tell you that getting to know your opponent is a good strategy? Well, that's exactly what you're doing. You're right, Paddy, but McGonagall also told me I have trouble staying present. Wise words indeed, Cowdog. So why don't you focus on the task at hand, which is reviewing your vegan well potion? Professor Snape, I feel like you always somehow sneak up on me. How could I sneak up on you in my own classroom? Unless, of course, your head was somewhere else, like Professor McGonagall suggested. Yes, Professor. The potion, Cowdog. Did I remind you the last time you made the concoction, it was merely passable. Professor Snape's got a point, so let's focus on the present like Professor McGonagall suggested. Alright, Penny, let's review this potion. It's gonna be perfect with Penny. Review Weekend Wealth Potion. Start. You're lucky to be working with someone skilled as Miss Haywood, Cowdog. Yeah, I am very lucky indeed. I just want to get to my next interview with Professor McGonagall. I need to pass this first though. We need to add salamander blood until the potion turns red. Stop hemming and hawing, cowdog, and get on with it. Flowerworm mucus is an absolutely foul-sounding ingredient. Don't forget to stay present, Nick. I am present, right here. The potion should turn many colors if I remember correctly. I don't remember that part. I've got the boomberry juice. Boomberry juice. Wow. Every time I use honey water, I'm tempted to test it. Why not? Success! Collect! Okay, the brew is done. Now we just have to wait for it to cool and then the potion is ready. Are you sure it's supposed to turn that turquoise color at the end? Absolutely! Are you questioning my potion's making, Nick? No, of course not. I'm just worried that much like I've almost botched potions in the past. I could be botching the game of Visa Chess I'm playing with Professor McGonagall. I just don't want to disappoint her in the game or the presentation. What Minerva McGonagall respects more than anything is people who don't quit. Well, thank you. She and I have that in common. I see that, Professor. She deserves to be properly honored at the Teacher Appreciation Feast unless you fail her by giving up. Is that what you are, Cowdog? A failure? I might be messing up. Please don't. No, I'm a winner, like you, Professor Snape. No way, I'm a winner, Professor Snape. I'll do my best for Professor McGonagall at the presentation and in our chess game. That remains to be seen. But in the meantime, may I suggest you stop whining and wallowing and rise to the occasion, else you disappoint us all at the Teacher Appreciation Celebration. Wise words. Well, that sounded like a threat. Professor Snape can just be a bit gruff in his own way, but maybe you can use his words to embolden you to do your best in your presentation. As well as in the Wizard Chess game, playing should be fun, not scary. You're right, it is fun. I'm lucky to even get to play with Professor McGonagall. No other student has that chance. Exactly! I bet Professor McGonagall believes in you, and so do I. And I just thought of someone I believe in who could have the answers I need. Who? The headmaster. I'm headed to see Professor Dumbledore next. Finally, seeing Professor Dumbledore. Learn from Snape. Done. Talk to Dumbledore. It's time for us to talk. Join me in my office. Coming, Professor. Talk to Dumbledore. Dumbledore's office. Go. Dumbledore's office. Talk to Dumbledore. Thank you for agreeing to see me on short notice, Headmaster. Your note came at an opportune time. I have been meaning to call you in myself. Oh, really? I've been hearing interesting rumors about you and your activities lately, and I have some opinions about them. Activities, sir? Yes, you've been very busy, so I felt it was time we talk about activities. Do you have any idea what about? What the curse faults? About McGonagall's research, of course. Is it about my research on Professor McGonagall? Indeed it is. Brilliant, because that's exactly why I asked to speak with you. I'm glad to hear it. Proceed. I've been thinking that to really honor Professor McGonagall at the Teacher Appreciation Celebration, that I needed to talk to the people who know her best. So I've been interviewing her friends and peers. I admit I've heard about your pursuit of information about our esteemed honoree. And I'm happy to hear you've been doing your homework. It's why I wanted to call you here as well, to commend you. I'm glad because as headmasters, you're the top of the list of people I need to talk to. After all, you've known her the longest. It's true, I do have a unique insight into Professor McGonagall. And aside from having the privilege to work with her this many years, I also had the honor of teaching her in her own time as a student here at Hogwarts. Wow, I've heard so many great interesting things about the professor so far. But I really want to know what makes her special to you, Headmaster. Then let's begin. Helping you to further appreciate Professor McGonagall would be my pleasure. Please give me some juicy information, Professor. Interview Dumbledore. Start. I hold Professor McGonagall in high regard. Was Professor McGonagall your favorite student? Does he have any favorite? Minerva was a gifted Transfiguration student to say the least. What was most surprising about Professor McGonagall as a student? To say Professor McGonagall is wise is an understatement. So she's not wise? Is Professor McGonagall your favorite staff member? Even as a student, McGonagall's animagus skills were most impressive. Mine too, Professor. The Professor and I are playing wizard chess, and clearly she's a master. Few people realize how funny Minerva McGonagall can be. Professor McGonagall always finds ways to surprise me, even today. How? So as you can see, I am at no shortage of qualities to extol about the subject of your presentation. And as we discussed, not only is she wise and a master of wizard chess, but it's been most satisfying to see her grow into a master of magic as well. Did you always know she was going to join the staff of Hogwarts? Actually, we were her second job after she graduated. Though I have to admit, I was relieved she closed to call us here when she decided to leave the Ministry of Magic. Professor McGonagall worked for the Ministry? I had no idea. For a time after, yes she did. I bet a lot of people are glad she made the decision to teach here instead. Indeed, Professor McGonagall is dedicated, but possibly my favorite thing about her is how trustworthy she is. She would never let down her colleagues or any of her students at Hogwarts. In fact, Professor McGonagall is the person I would entrust Hogwarts to in my absence. Professor McGonagall would be brilliant, of course, but I hope that day never comes, sir. I assure you that it has and it will again. But Professor McGonagall has the strength to handle whatever comes her way. She has my complete trust and my faith. I definitely don't want to disappoint Professor McGonagall at the celebration. You won't if you have faith and trust in your teacher as well. As I said, she won't let you down, as I expect you won't either. Thank you, Headmaster. Good luck in your presentation and your wizard chess game. You'd have to be quite a player to best your professor. You're right, I'm sure, but for now I need to decide on my next move and bring it back to Professor McGonagall. It's time for our next interview. Talk to Dumbledore. Done. Play chess with McGonagall. Time to continue our game. Meet in the Transfiguration classroom now. Play chess with McGonagall. Transfiguration classroom. Go. Transfiguration classroom. Play chess with McGonagall. This game has gotten quite exciting, Professor. You're definitely offering me a challenge. That is the intention. Nothing in life worth earning comes easily. It certainly sounds that way, and you clearly work hard throughout your career. In fact, the headmaster thinks of you as a master of magic. From Dumbledore, that's quite a compliment, as he is one of the most skilled wizards of our time. Sometimes I wonder if I will ever be that skilled too, or if I have what it takes. To wonder is to waste time. The answer is within you. So let's have it. What do you think is required to become a master of magic? Hard work with lazy talent, right? At least that's what Bill said. Luck, talent? Yeah, actually it is. Hard work. I expect it takes hard work, but I'm confident I can become a master of magic if I work as hard as you have. Partly because I take my studies seriously, Professor, just as you did. Your teachers will appreciate that, as I do. I'll take that to heart, Professor. Anything is possible, but one does not become first in the magical arts overnight. You still have a long road ahead and much to learn. I know, and I have to say it's been fascinating learning more about you, Professor. For instance, I didn't know you had a Muggle parent. Does that qualify as fascinating? It's simply a fact. Well then, let's talk about your student achievements. I was so impressed to hear you were a prefect, a head girl, and aced all your exams. And also that you played Quidditch in a famous match between Gryffindor and Slytherin. Is that a question in the midst of all this rambling? Of course. I guess I'm just curious to hear more about them right from the hippogriff's mouth. If you think it will be helpful for your presentation, we can discuss this all in greater depth as we play. I'd love to hear anything more you have to add. So let's play. Get details. Start. Right from the hippogriff's mouth. This chess game keeps getting more interesting along with these interviews. When it comes to that infamous Quidditch match, I believe Gryffindor was cheated. Keep watch of the board and the game as we discuss all of this. Your interest in wizard chess makes sense alongside your love of Quidditch. To be head girl was an honor, and I took my duties seriously. You've done a lot while you were here at Hogwarts as a student, as a teacher. Success! Collect! Thanks, Professor. Hearing your thoughts on what I've learned so far is very helpful. And yet, you still have more questions, I assume. Actually, there was one fact I learned while talking to Professor Dumbledore that surprised me. Well, are you going to ask about it promptly or leave it hanging there for me to wonder about? I guess I was surprised to hear you came to Hogwarts after working in the Ministry of Magic. And I'm wondering, was working there part of your long-term plan? Is that what you think? That my life has always gone according to plan? Well, it's just that you seem to be successful at everything you set your mind to. Even your chess moves during this game have been so methodical and strategic. Oh, you do still have much to learn about the journey of life. I'm not as old as you, Professor. Come on. So leaving the ministry isn't something you anticipated? It's hardly a sordid story. I worked there for a year, then made a choice to be an educator. I guess I wondered if there was something more to it. Perhaps our choices can affect who we are. Every move you make during our chess game has ramifications. And the choice you make very soon will determine what you'll say at your presentation and how I'll be represented. Until then, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that you are now in check. Oh no. Don't fret, this game isn't over yet, not a checkmate. Though you'll have to wait until our final chess session to see if you'll be the victor in this game. Do well in your teacher appreciation presentation and then we will return to finish our match. Fine, a special celebration of Hogwarts teachers, part 3 complete. Collect. A special celebration of Hogwarts teachers, part 4. You finally celebrate Professor McGonagall at the teacher appreciation celebration. Start. Play chess with McGonagall. Done. Finalize your presentation. Meet in the courtyard to finish your presentation. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this part 4 of this teacher appreciation celebration on the next episode. I'm gonna conclude this episode here after completing the part 3 of this teacher appreciation celebration time limited side quest. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and see you guys on the next Hogwarts mystery.